Hey, thanks for joining me, TikTok. This video is in response to a video that I had made about 2 weeks ago or so, and it was a video saying former naval intelligence officer warns the people of America. And a lot of people responded. I have a lot of questions here. I didn't expect the views that I got. If you go to my channel, I don't make content like this. I mean, I'm a drummer, okay? When I got out of the Navy, I started playing the drums, even when I was younger, and my channel was about music. It wasn't even about any of this stuff. I don't make any money off of TikTok. My channel is not monetized. I'm not making any of this stuff up. I am not spreading lies or deception or any of it. If you believe that, then just keep scrolling. If not, stick around because this is going to get kind of interesting here. There was a lot of great questions by you people, the viewer. So I want to be able to answer some of these questions for you. There was a lot. So what I did was I chose 8 that I thought were needed answering. Very interesting questions. Some of them were not even part of the topic that I was speaking about. So let's get into it, okay? The first question, and I have to put on my glasses. Sorry, my eyes are not that great anymore. First question, what do you know about them spraying the skies? I know a lot about that, actually. Answer in short, okay? The reason why they are spraying the skies, and they usually start around 7:30, 8:30, 9:30 a.m., is to block out the blue natural light that comes from the sun. The sun has 3 spectrums. It's going to be morning, afternoon, and dusk. And the sun puts out a natural light, which would be like a blue light that is very essential for your neurowaves and neuropaths in your brain. This is a fact. You can even ask any neuroscientist or, doctor, and they will tell you the same thing. So when you block out the blue light that comes from the sun in the early mornings, it basically dumbs you down. Your brain cannot function properly, and you are a lot easier to control. There are other reasons that they do this, but this is one of the main reasons. I've heard people say, oh, they're blocking out Nibiru, and listen, we live in a dome. Let's just get this straight, okay? There is no solar system. There are other places beyond our reach, but it is not in outer space, okay? It is not up in the sky like you think. So let's just get past that for a second. So the reason why they're spraying it is to block out the blue light. This is very important that you understand this. Blue light. Go look it up. Do some research on it. This is the main reason. This is why they spray early in the morning. Okay, second question. Again, glasses. Safe areas in the States. This was probably the number 1 question that I was asked when I made this video. And again, I did not expect the amount of views and the questions. And I'm glad that you participated and started asking questions because I don't know everything, but I do know a lot. And what I do know, I'm willing to share, okay? So safe areas in the United States. Well, people say, well, why would people ask about safe areas? What is this about? Just in case you didn't see my other video. And I had warned people to stay away from coastlines and the Mississippi River and said that you should migrate toward the center of the country or at least away from the coastline. So when people ask about safe areas in the United States, look, anywhere that has high elevation or that's away from the coastline is always going to be a plus. The only thing you have to be careful of is the flat plains, anything that has flat plain land. There's a lot of flat plain land in Iowa, Missouri, and in certain places in the Midwest that you do have to be careful for. But anything with higher elevation is going to be a huge plus. A lot of people are just not in the position to move, nor can they move. They don't have the money, the finances. They have kids in school. Listen, I understand all that. But I'm just letting you know, by 2027, if you can, get away from the coastline. Okay, the next question, and this kind of coincides with the first question. When will this happen? Look, I don't have a crystal ball, and nor do I claim to be God. I'm only going to go by documents that I've seen, that I shouldn't be sharing with you, but anyway, documents that I've seen that coincide with this, okay? And this is 100% fact. When I say when this will happen, short answer, by 2027. It could be sooner. It could be next month. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. But by 2027, from the documents that I read and from what I've seen, there was a agenda here to change things around as far as what the United States is going to look like. Okay, next question. I need my glasses again. This is a great question, by the way. Whoever sent me this. What do you know about the food supply? Great question. Matter of fact, that should be one of the number one concerns on your mind, is what you put in your body. So what do I know about the food system or food supply? Well, number one, it's full of poison. Number two, it's full of parasites. So if you buy your groceries at any of the big chain stores, it's probably not a good idea. There's a lot of parasites in the foods that are being produced right now, and they are also full of chemicals that your body cannot digest naturally. And this is a great question, and yeah, I'm going to do a follow-up video about this food supply thing. This is really important because this has to do with your health, okay? Real quick, when you buy vegetables or fruits or anything like that, the best thing to do is put it in a bowl of water and pour some apple cider vinegar on it. And that will alleviate and get rid of any of the parasites that are actually in the food that you're going to eat, just in case you have no choice. You might live in an area where you're like, hey, the only place I have to shop is this place over here. I don't have another choice. So what can I do? That's one of the things that you can do. Clean your food really well before you ingest it, okay? And I'm going to get into another video I should make about what's really organic food and what's not. Okay, that was a great question, by the way, whoever sent that. Next one. Again, this had nothing to do with the video, but I just picked random questions. Is the Earth flat? Here we go. I'm going to get a lot of flack for this one, and I know for a fact people are just going to scroll, but that's fine. Yes, it is. 100% it's flat. Matter of fact, 1,000% it's flat. Working for the Department of Navy, I can assure you it is definitely flat. The weaponry that we use, the technology that we have on the ships, all laser guided, trust me, wouldn't work on a ball. Let's just put it that way. It is a flat Earth plane. That's why you fly on an airplane, okay? You live on a plane, a flat plane, just so you know. Open up your Bible. It will tell you in the Bible that the Earth is stationary. It does not move, and it's flat. It's in the Bible. Go look it up. Anyway, on to the next question. Again, with the glasses. What do you know about DUMBs? Another great question. And if you don't know what DUMBs are, it's deep underground military bases. That's what DUMBs are. A lot of people have been talking about this on TikTok, of how the elites are running away and they're going to go hide under the ground because they know that this catastrophe is coming. Not true. Not true. Okay? They've been living underground the whole time. Okay? How do you think they travel? How do you think they get from the East Coast to the West Coast? Do you think they jump on an airplane like me and you? No. There's an underground monorail that takes them from California to New York in probably an hour or less. And there's a whole city underground, okay, with shopping centers and you name it, it's down there. I've actually seen the maps of this. I have an old one and I also have an updated map, and I'll share that in one of my upcoming videos. I know a lot of people are going to be interested in this topic. There are entrances to a lot of these underground facilities. A lot of them are built into mountainsides, and they just kind of open up magically. And you'll see trucks driving in there bringing supplies. So if you wonder where all your food is gone, your real food, because if a lot of people will drive through America and they'll say, I see cows and I see pastures and I see corn and I see food being grown. Yeah, but it's not for you, okay? Your food is coming out of a laboratory, and their food is being grown naturally from the earth, and it's going to the underground facilities. It's not going to you in your local supermarket. Now, you can still get some natural meats and beefs and things, but you have to go to a farmer's market or like a real butcher shop, and I would even question that, to be honest. All right, let's go to the next one. I'm going to skip 7 and go to 8 and then go back to 7, okay? What can we do to avoid this or help ourselves? Another great question. I'm going to start with, let's start with the basics, okay? This is going to start with your spirituality and your belief system, okay? What you believe, what you feel in your heart. If you believe in God like I do, He will always guide you in the right direction. He'll lead you to this video. He'll put certain people in your life for a certain reason. And I believe this 100%. Okay, what can you do? What you can do is participate in mental health. In other words, your mental and spiritual health will guide you to your answers. I'm not your guru. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know everything and give you every answer and, come off like I'm some kind of wizard or something, because I'm not. I just have information that I share with you people that you might not know about, or I'll validate things that other people have spoken about, given my background, which is a whole nother video. I had a few other people ask me about my background, and maybe I'll go into that real quick before the end of this video. Okay, last question. What is the end game? Another great question. Control. The end game is control. So by 2027 or sooner, we will be on a digital platform. What you know now as currency or money or paper money or whatever will no longer exist. It will be on a digital platform. It'll all be done through AI. 100%. You will not be able to buy groceries. You will not be able to go to the doctor's office. You will not be able to do anything. Matter of fact, you won't even be able to drive or travel, by the way. So this is very important that you need to understand that food, water, and shelter are the 3 main things that we all need to survive. Besides family and compassion. That's really important, that people have compassion. I see that that's definitely lacking in our society today. Although there are some good people out there. So again, the end game is really control. It's coming, whether you think you can avoid it or not. If you have a chance to go off-grid and live off-grid, that would be a great plan. If not, I would get out of the United States like I did 3 years ago. So this video might be a little longer than I wanted it to be, but I did have several people ask about my background, and I didn't really want to make these TikTok videos about me or anything like that. But just a real quick snippet. My background is I grew up on the East Coast. I had a split family where I can't make this stuff up, but it's true. My mom was a lawyer and then turned judge. And then my father was actually worked at a bakery for my uncle for 30 years. My dad was a very honest and sincere person. He was a great father. However, if you Google my name, there's some connection on my father's side of the family out of New York. That's a whole nother video. If you do like stories like that, I have plenty of them for you. But we're getting off topic again. But just my background, I left the U.S. in 2022, I believe it was. I had an FBI friend of mine that came to me in 2014, 2015. Someone I grew up with, actually, that I went to school with. And he came up to me in 2015, I believe it was. And we were out just having a coffee one day. And he had said to me, hey, listen, if I were you, I would make sure that you get out of the United States by 2025. Now, being that I worked for the Department of Navy and I had some information about certain things, we kind of coincided together and collaborated some certain things. But he was on point when he said that about getting out of the United States by 2025. So my suggestion to you people would be to subscribe to my channel. There's going to be some upcoming videos. I'm going to go over certain topics. I'm going to stick to these topics, and hopefully that information will help you. So as of right now, I just wanted to answer some questions really quick and not make this too long, and hopefully that helped a lot of you people. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thank you.